Hey there, listeners. Welcome to Hines on Air, your weekly dose of inspiration, motivation, and real-life entrepreneurial stories. I'm Matt Hines, your host, and I'm excited to have you join me on this journey. From building a successful law firm to venturing into other industries like real estate and social media, I've experienced both the triumphs and the challenges that come with entrepreneurship. I've learned firsthand the importance of resilience, adaptability, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. On Hines on Air, we're diving deep into the world of business, law, and personal growth. Join me as I chat with incredible guests who have faced adversity, defied expectations, and achieved extraordinary success. We'll discuss their strategies, their mindset, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or simply someone looking for a little inspiration, Hines on Air is for you. Remember to subscribe, like, and leave a review whenever you listen to podcasts. Your support helps us reach more people and continue sharing these incredible stories. Let's get started.
We want to thank our sponsor, Bravos Leadership. Bravos Leadership is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and other business-minded people grow their companies and achieve their goals in life. They're having a major event on June 21st that's going to have some of the best business minds on the planet, including Grant Cardone. So get your tickets today. Hey, everybody, it's Matt Hines. I'm here with Hines on Air, and I wanted to just talk about a subject that's pretty popular right now. It's everywhere on YouTube. It's everywhere all over the news, and many people are already educated on this and already have their opinion on what side they want to take. But it's devastating, it's horrible, and it shouldn't be happening. And if you don't know about this, you should know about it. If for nothing else, just to have an opinion and to voice that opinion when the opportunity arises. Because the more people that are aware of what's going on, the more action we can take. If you don't even know what's happening, then nothing's ever going to change. Just this destruction and all is just going to continue without Americans and other people in other parts of the world even knowing about it. And the destruction and just madness that I'm talking about is the Gaza-Palestine-Israeli conflict, which is continuing and which absolutely needs to stop. So I'm going to give you my opinion. At any time you can disagree. I'm going to give you the facts as I understand them. If you want to disagree with those facts, feel free to. But after getting somewhat educated on this topic, listening to the experts debate, seeing pictures, listening to journalists, reading what they've written, I have my opinion on it, which I'll express at the end. So I'm going to, again, present this as best I can. You can disagree with the facts or opinions as I set them forth. But right now, and for many years, America has had a very strong connection with Israel. Israel is sort of protected, and they're sort of our partners on the world scene, I guess you could say. And I would assume the reason for that is a religious one, because Israel is Jewish, of course, and they're in the middle of many Arab, Muslim, and Middle Eastern countries that Americans might see as our enemy. So it could be viewed that Israel is the good guys in the middle of all these bad guys. And if you have that observation and that is your conclusion, you would be wrong. That is not the truth. But in 1948, the state of Israel was created, shortly after World War II. Israel was not a state then. There was just Palestine. The idea of Israel having its own state had existed for many, many, many years, but they never had a state of their own. Now, the desire for them to have their own state is called Zionism. That word's being used a lot on the media. Zionism. That's what we're talking about. In 1948, Israel got their own state. And throughout that process, Israel got Israel, and the Palestinians, which also lived there, got a section called Gaza and then the West Bank. All right, two sections in Israel. If you're looking on the map, you'll see Gaza is a very small little strip on the Mediterranean. The West Bank is a larger piece that's on another area. So that's where the Palestinians were. Now, Palestinians and Israelis lived in that area all before it. There was about 8 million Palestinians and about 8 million Israelis. When Israel got claim to this area called Israel, the Palestinians were pushed into Gaza and into the West Bank. Their relationship was not a harmonious I don't know, everybody get along in peace sort of a relationship. The Palestinians were basically said, you got to leave this area. You got to go live over here or over here. You're just sent off the land where you and your parents have lived. Now, the Israelis are going to say, well, we owned it before you. There's a long debate, historical debate over who should get the land. But starting more in present time, in 1948, all these people live here. The Palestinians lived all over this area called Israelis. After 1948, they said, okay, Palestinians, leave, go to this area or this area. You get these two areas. Now, there was a lot of tensions between these two over the years. In 1978, in Israel, the Likud party, which is run by Benjamin Netanyahu, got control. And most people know that name, Benjamin Netanyahu. He is the Israeli prime minister. He's head of what Israel is involved with right now. He's the main guy. And they didn't really like the Palestinians. They sort of tolerated them and allowed them to have their own area, but not really. And again, here, this is my opinion. You can disagree. Many people do disagree. So the Palestinians had their area. The state of Israel kind of looked down on these people and didn't really let them have their own area. And what we're talking about is this two-state solution where there's an idea where the Palestinians would have their own state, their own government, their own constitution, their own sovereignty, and Israel would have theirs. That's not what's happening, and that's not what's happened for many, many, many years now. Israel basically controls Gaza and the Palestines. It allows certain things to go into the country and doesn't allow other things to go into the country. And so the people in Gaza, the Palestinians, don't get many of the things that they need. They do not have their own government. They do not elect their own government. They may not get water allowed. They may not get electricity. They certainly don't get a lot of the basic things that they need. Again, feel free to dispute that. That is how I understand the facts. And when you live like that for many, many, many years, you grow angry with the people that are controlling you. Now, that's Gaza's relationship to Israel. Gaza has grown to resent this kind of treatment. And I understand why. I would resent it myself. And amongst this resentment, maybe before, we have this group called Hamas. That is a terrorist organization. And they primarily reside in Gaza and in the West Bank. That is Palestinian terrorist group. It does not like Israel. And whether they are justified or not, they are out to destroy Israel. And they have said so. Now, you could say, well, they're justified to destroy Israel because Israel treats the Palestinians so bad. Or you can say, no, this is just an evil terrorist organization and they got to be destroyed no matter what. There are very good arguments on both sides. That's a tough one. But I'll say this. Now, I'm trying to bring you up into the current as we get closer to present time here. Now, another sort of historical phenomenon that has taken place over this time period. I mentioned U.S. and Israel's connection. They've sort of been together throughout this time, all through this development of this area of the world now. U.S. usually backs Israel. No matter what, they back Israel. Why? I don't know. It's just kind of become that thing. I told you my theories on it. Maybe it's a religious connection, whatever. They always back Israel. And there was some documents produced back in 2001. And these have been spoken about often. General Wesley Clark, who served the U.S., he's a good guy. And you can see this on YouTube when he discusses this. There was a document put forward where the Israel government was out to destroy their enemies, and they were going to use the backing of the United States to do it. Because they knew you and the United States would step in and defend them, support them, give them military equipment, give them whatever, all right? And Wesley Clark, who I deem very credible, talks about this on his videos. And there was In 2001, they had predicted 7 wars within the next 5 years. These wars were against Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Somalia, Libya, Sudan, and Iran. All right, that's what the government said. These need to be taken out. They're enemies of Israel. And Israel said the U.S. is going to help us and we're going to get rid of these countries. Now, as of today, 6 of those wars have taken place. There's just one left, which is Iran. And if you're paying attention on the news, you'll know we are teetering on that right now. Right? That could happen any moment. Thankfully, Trump stopped that. Trump said, we're not going to war. Well, he's delayed it. He hadn't stopped it altogether. But he said, we're going to give peace a chance. We're going to try to negotiate. Thank God for that. That was kudos to Trump. Whether you like him or not, that was a good move. And he had people around him fighting to go to war, but he also had even better people around him not wanting to go to war. Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, and others said, don't do this. J.D. Vance, the vice president, also, do not go to war. So thankfully, we have people like that in our administration. So that's been halted, and that's a good thing. But you still have Israel pushing the United States to help them invade Iran and take that country out. That's a bad thing. That's a mistake. That would involve a lot of people getting killed, a lot of unnecessary war, which we've had too much of, and just general destruction for the planet. We want to thank our sponsor, Bravos Leadership. Bravos Leadership is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and other business-minded people grow their companies and achieve their goals in life. They're having a major event on June 21st that's going to have some of the best business minds on the planet, including Grant Cardone. So get your tickets today. The point of this whole presentation is to discuss what's happening in Gaza and Israel. Now, going back a little bit, October 7th, Hamas, the terrorist organization in Gaza, invades Israel. I think they killed around 1,200 people at a music concert. It was tragic, horrible act. Should not have happened. In response, since that time, Israel has now invaded Gaza. The numbers I hear are different, but Israel has killed around 50,000 people in Gaza. They say they need to take out Hamas, and the only way to take out Hamas is just to bomb the hell out of everything. The problem is Hamas doesn't live in one little area in Gaza. It lives inside tunnels, inside houses, inside hospitals, throughout the civilian population. Hamas is just scattered throughout it. So if you're going to take out Hamas, you've got to just destroy everything. And that's what's happening. So right now, Israel's response to the October 7th attack is to just destroy and take out Gaza. And right now, what we're left with are women and babies that are stuck under the buildings. They're still alive, a lot of them. And they're asking for help, and there is no help. Because there's no one there that can lift up buildings. Israel doesn't allow tractors and other equipment like that to enter Gaza. And we're left with one of the most horrible scenes, I would say, in history. I mean, World War I and other events have been terrible, but what's happening right now in Gaza is horrific, and it needs to stop now. So I would just urge anybody with any sort of political strength or influence, whatever you have, to voice this. It's a common opinion. I think most of America has this opinion right now. We have the neocons and the warhawks that want to go to war, that will support Israel no matter what. Now, whether historically Israel has been right or wrong, right now they're wrong. And they need to back off and stop and have an immediate ceasefire of Gaza. Because even though they're stuck with a tough situation, and I get it, from Hamas attacking Israel, what they're doing to Gaza, wiping the entire area off the map, killing every man, woman, and child in that area, is not a proper response to the attack on October 7th. October 7th was wrong, and it is bad. But what is happening right now should end, and should end immediately. Now, I would then communicate to our president, Mr. Trump, when he was running for office and asked about the Ukraine-Russia war, they would say, who do you think should win this war, Mr. President? He would say, I don't care. I want people to stop dying. That is the correct answer. Now, I would urge President Trump to also take that same position when we're talking about Gaza and Israel. Stop the killing. Don't pick Israel over Gaza. Right now, President Trump is mostly sided with Israel, unfortunately. He just says he's supporting Israel, and I don't think he respects what's happening enough in Gaza right now. But it needs to stop, and I would ask President Trump and the entire administration to have that same viewpoint in regards to the Palestinians that they do for the Ukrainians and the Russians that are dying in that war. Stop the killing. We need an immediate ceasefire, and then we need to at least help the Gaza citizens try to rebuild. I can't imagine what they're going through. If this area was bombed and my children could be buried and I couldn't help them, like I can't imagine many worse situations that somebody could experience. So if you're listening, I hope you agree. If you don't, explain to me why. Tell me why I'm wrong. One thing I would like to mention, because I've missed a whole lot of facts. I have no doubt that I missed a lot of facts. Israel, for many years, I mentioned Hamas has been in Gaza, and Hamas continues to fire rockets at Israel. That's annoying. They do kill people. Hamas has attacked Israelis. Hamas has done terrible things to Israeli citizens throughout this time. So I don't think that I balanced this whole presentation enough. It is true that Hamas, living in Palestine, has done terrible things to the Israelis and the Israeli citizens. My whole point in all this is the attack that Israel is doing on Gaza and the Palestinians right now is disproportionate to what they received from Gaza, from what Israel received from Gaza. It needs to stop, and I urge everybody to just voice this message, and let's try to stop this madness. Thank you for joining us on Hines on Air. This program is being sponsored by Law Offices of Matthew C. Hines. The Law Offices of Matthew C. Hines helped all individuals who have been involved in a car accident, who have been injured at work, or have been arrested or given tickets. We make sure your rights are protected and that you receive all the benefits allowed under the law. Visit us at www.hineslaw.org, hineslaw.org.
Hines on Air is for you. Remember to subscribe, like, and leave a review whenever you listen to podcasts. Your support helps us reach more people and continue sharing these incredible stories.